Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another off-the-cuff, off-the-wall, informative, and bullshit-free episode of the Yin and the Yang. Yes, I am your host, your two-time USW heavyweight champion of the world and martial artist, and the leader of Chu's Commandos, the one and the only Anthony Chu. Yes, I am here. We did it so well last time. We're going to do it the second time. I've gotten a lot of feedback over the week about my performance, you can say, last week, and I've made some proper adjustments. And on today's episode, is discipline and respect dead in martial arts schools? I have a new victim of Chewed Out. We're going to do some yoga today. Also on the agenda, can Michael Bisping actually have the ability to drink a tall glass of shut the fuck up? And I am going to convince my coach to do something life-changing by using wrestling as an incentive and a vehicle. All that and much more on the Yin and the Yang. But right now, to join me on this crusade to smarten up the loyal listeners of the Yin and the Yang show, as well as the More of the Same network podcast followers. Are you ready for this, folks? Once again, another great entrance here. He is the charismatic, diplomatic, pragmatic, ecstatic, fully automatic, and soon with age, chiropractic ruler of the podcast world, the real king, the founder, the owner, the operator of the More of the Same network, and the associate of the anti-USW Productions, the uncomparable, much too sweet Larry.
Wow, that is an entrance, an introduction, I should say, like no other. I can't top that. Hey everyone, that's about all I can do here. But thank you for that.
Every week, man, there's going to be a new introduction for you. We're going to have a little fun. Well, I'm going to have a little.
You're going to
fun
have a lot of fun, exactly. Wow. Good stuff, man. But, it's another week. It's episode number 2. We survived the first episode, and we're working on getting on iTunes right now.
Oh, we are?
That would be kind of cool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You hear that, my friends? You hear that, Choose Commandos, the Legion of Larry? You hear that, folks?
Listen, if it wasn't for myself, Larry Mormon, there would be no Anthony Chu, so remember that.
Wow. I don't know whether to be humbled or insulted.
It's your show. Be insulted. I apologize.
Well, that's right, goddammit. It's my show. I'll do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm proud and humbled and honored to have you on the show always, because you are, as I had said, the ruler and the owner and the operator of the More of the Same network, in which, by the way, I'd also like to ask that that you good folks here keep in mind that this show is under anti-USW Productions, and we are going to have one hell of a show for you this week. But before we do that, how's your week been, man? What's anything new? Anything going on?
It's been good. It's been a little quiet, work and everything like that. It was kind of quiet, but my next few weeks, my next few weekends, they're gonna be busy. They're gonna be action packed. And hockey season's coming up as well. I got half-season tickets to the New York Islanders, so I'm going to be doing a lot of those games.
You're an Island? So you're an Islanders fan by nature, or how'd you got involved?
Not by nature. When they moved to Brooklyn, kind of like, all right, hey, look, a Brooklyn team, like an actual Brooklyn team. So, because I was both born and raised in Brooklyn, so I kind of, started while following them. Then me and my dad got half-season tickets last year. We're doing it again this year while they're still at the Barclays Center, so we'll see how long that lasts. And those games start up a couple weeks. But this Saturday, I got a few things happening. This Friday, I will be getting online at about 3 o'clock in the morning at a local Best Buy to wait online to pick up a Super Nintendo Classic.
Oh, no.
So that's coming out on Friday. Saturday, I will be doing interviews for Pro Wrestling Syndicate's Return to Wrestling, Refuse to Lose, Saturday night, September 30th, live from Echuca, New Jersey. Get your tickets at ProWrestlingSyndicate.com.
Now, let me say this. I was actually supposed to be there with you on the 30th for the show, but the problem is that due to scheduling conflicts, I wasn't able to make it.
That's all right. That's all right.
So
Listen,
I'm sorry about that.
Life gets in the way. That's all right. No problem.
I was actually going to be out there signing autographs for the fans, but the problem is that, I've had my days in the wrestling world, so, I've had my tapestry of stories, and I really wanted to be out there, but I wasn't able to. So I'm sorry, guys, if I caused any inconvenience for anybody,
You would have taken over the show with all your autograph signings.
Yeah, right.
You would have made too much money. And then the following weekend after that is New York Comic-Con in New York City at the Jacob Javits Center. So
I'll be there. Fast?
It's coming up, Columbus Day weekend.
Oh, wow. Okay,
so I'll be there Friday and Saturday, and I'll actually be broadcasting live Saturday from New York Comic-Con from my Retro Gamers page for the Retro Gamers podcast. So be on the lookout for that.
Now, wait a minute. There's something that you told me this past week, somebody that you're going to meet.
Yes. Well, at New York Comic-Con, I plan on...
Listen to this, guys.
Doing some autograph signings. I plan on meeting Lita. And I plan on meeting Diamond Dallas Page. And
we're going to talk about Diamond Dallas Page all right today. Because there's something very, very life-changing I should actually mention about that. So... Okay. DDP, man, Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorites.
Oh, me too. He's one of the few guys that I was really, really into during WCW. We could talk about it later because I'm going to need your opinion on something about DDP as well when we get there. But we'll save that for a little bit later in the show.
Absolutely, absolutely. You're going to have a lot of fun. And by the way, rumor has it that somebody here is supposed to be meeting the Dead Man.
Oh, well, that's not at New York Comic-Con. That's going to be in December.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
That's going to be at Ace Comic-Con, which is going to be at NYCB Live, formerly known as the Nassau Coliseum.
Long Island.
Yep, Long Island. And that's going to be where for the first time, I get to meet The Undertaker. And I mean autograph signing, photo op. I tried to get tickets to meet The Undertaker like the last 2 times I went to WrestleMania, but just tickets sold out. So I missed them twice, and I mean, come on. If you're a wrestling fan, it's The Undertaker. You know what I mean? I mean, much respect to the man for his career, and I can't think of any wrestling fan who probably really would not want to get an autograph. The amount of money I'm spending on this is a whole different subject, but just the availability to meet him is going to be awesome.
Well, you, my friend, I've known for years, and I know for a fact that you've always been a diehard wrestling fan, regardless of company. I know that you favor the WWE a little bit, just a little bit more, because, I mean, when we had the Monday Night Wars about 25 years ago, I was very much pro WCW, but I did watch WWF, and you were more WWF than WCW. We both like ECW. We could actually agree on that.
This is true. Listen, I was watching. There was some times during that 83-week run where I was watching a little bit more WCW, with the NWO. So I'll admit.
Yeah. That's for an entire totally different topic and subject at some point.
But that's pretty much my October, my December. It's going to get pretty busy for me.
All right. My week has just been very long, dragging, and yes, tomorrow the city of Trenton will be graced with my presence as I go to court.
Now, tomorrow being because when we're recording versus when this drops, so we're recording on Sunday. So why are you going to court?
Right.
Why are you going to court on Monday?
Oh well, thanks a lot for kayfabing. I appreciate that. Well, actually, so I've been called to a pettit jury duty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pettit jury duty is basically something that I guess you have to do under county rules or state rules, whatever the heck. I just don't want to be issued a warrant for my arrest. That's why I'm going.
That's true. I love jury duty.
Do you?
I love it. I've probably done it. I've been called now in New York. I've done it 3 times, and I served on an actual jury once. And I loved the entire process. The case I had was a little rough to deal with. That was actually good Lord, it's almost It's almost been a year since that. Wow, this 2017 has been the fastest year of my life. It just flew right by. But last year I served on a jury, and I just loved every minute of it.
Wow, okay.
I truly did. Yeah.
Well, you've done your civic duty. I'm sure, fans. Let me just say this: if you listen to this podcast, I am going to assume the fact, until people prove me wrong, that you are proper citizens. You use your left and right turn indicators. I'm sure you do, Larry.
Oh, all the time, even in a parking lot.
All right. Well, there you have it. So I'm going to.
You, on the other hand,
we come from Brooklyn, New York. Do we really use our left and right turn indicators? Only until now, when I moved out to the Garden State, did I actually learn the etiquette of doing that, and also the art of tailgating.
Oh.
But that's a different story.
Yikes. Oh, Lord.
All right. So, well, another episode, and I did a little research, but before I do that, let me make sure I state the rules once again very clearly in case you didn't listen to the inaugural episode of the Yin and the Yang. I am the Yin. My good man here is the Yang. One cannot exist without the other. And let me also say this. So, once again, I represent myself. I don't represent my job. I don't represent work. I don't represent any company, any corporation, any faction. I represent me, the More of the Same network, which I've signed an exclusive contract worldwide. And at the same time, let me also say that there are three things we do not speak about on this podcast. We do not speak about religion, politics, and we don't speak about our 9-to-5s. Those are the three things. So for anybody listening to this, I have nothing to do. This is my personal time. This is not done on any company's time or whatever the hell. It's my show, goddammit. It's actually our show, and I do what the hell I want.
You're the captain. You're running this ship, my friend. I'm just a stowaway.
It's like I said last week. I am the captain now.
You sure are. I may be in charge of the retro gamers and the better half, but this is your show.
Oh, by the way, I want to say thank you to your More of the Same network staff for giving me proper catering. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I haven't had coffee today. Proper catering to the estate, to Castle Chuzilla. So I appreciate that. I also appreciated the limo service, but I really want to cut costs, and I really didn't need it. So, but either way, I appreciate it. I appreciate it for taking care of your new star.
I treat my best with the best.
There you have it. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What more can you ask for? It doesn't get any better than perfect, does it? Right? All right. Onward. So I did a little research this week, and I have found 5 movies that were released 25 years ago.
Oh my God, I do not want to go through this. Okay, no, we can do it. Let's just see how old we are.
I'm going to feel fucking old. You know that, right?
Listen, bro. I mean, it was funny this morning on Facebook. You know how Facebook has memories? Like they'll say, "Hey, 5 years ago you did this."
Oh, Jesus.
For the first time, it had it for 11 years ago.
11 years?
11. It was a house show I went to with a friend of mine at the Garden. No, Nassau, I think. And 11 years ago. I was like, this is not cool.
What the fuck? 11 fucking years? I mean, seriously, I don't want to be reminded of what I did at 29, because if I can go back to 29 or 30 years old, I'd do a lot of things very differently. Now, wouldn't I? But then again, I mean, there are some things that I would not do differently. But either way,
because if you change anything, we would not be at this moment today.
That is true. That is very true. I mean, everything that happens for a reason, good or bad. But you know something, man? I don't regret anything that's happened, except for a couple of things.
That's all right. But remember, a wise man once says, Confucius say, man with hand in pocket feels cocky all day long.
Ladies and gentlemen, I also want to say that there's a simple inside disclaimer that race, ethnicity, we do not discriminate against. We also we respect all religions, races, creeds, ethnicities, nationalities. The opinions that are expressed by my co-host, Larry, are not the opinions of your 2-time USW heavyweight champion of the world and premier martial artist. Thank you.
I'm just setting my tone.
Oh my
What
God.
movies? What 5 movies came out 25 years ago?
I'm almost scared to talk now. You know?
Don't be. Listen, you can put me in my. This is the only show where someone can put me in my place during the show. I give you carte blanche to just say zip it.
Do I actually get this? I get this in writing, right?
I'll fax it to you. You can pull an old Morton Downey Jr. on me and just zip it.
Morton Downey Jr. Man, that was insane. That was insane. You know,
what do you used to call people?
I forgot.
I forgot.
It was funny though.
Yeah, well,
Morton Downey.
So what we got 25 years ago?
So as you're sipping on your water, and I'm sipping on my lemon water here, we do keep ourselves healthy here, folks. We do emphasize that, you know, we want to make sure that you're healthy. You know, we talk martial arts here, yes, but there's a lot of things that connect with it. We talk a lot about, you know, fitness, health, motivation. We'll get into all that, contact sports and everything. Oh, yes, and I also do want to address one other thing that somebody talked to me about this week. So, all right, onward. 5 movies 25 years ago. You ready for this one, bro?
Let's do it.
Okay. Holy crap. July 10th, 1992, all right, the movie Universal Soldier came out.
Wow.
Now, I'm going to say...
It's like the only good one in the series.
Oh, no. Of the top 5, it gets better.
No, I meant of the Universal Soldier
yeah.
series. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Universal Soldier stars Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren. Now, if you've never watched this movie, it's pretty cool. It's about 2 soldiers that died in Vietnam and came back using some type of corporate regeneration or something like that, some process. And one turns good, one turns bad. Take a nice guess who it is. Blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I still don't think that's Van Damme's best movie, and I don't think that was Dolph Lundgren's best movie anyway. You ready for number 2?
Let's do it.
Sidekicks.
The movie with Chuck Norris and the fake Karate Kid?
Well, the late Jonathan Brandis. Oh, leave him alone.
Wait a minute. He's dead?
Yes.
When did he die?
Like fucking 20 years ago, dude. He killed himself.
Did he really?
He also was dating Tatiana Ali. You know the girl Ashley from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Wow.
Look this up.
I'm doing it right now. I'm on IMDb. I can't believe the kid from Sidekicks killed himself.
He killed himself. He committed suicide. And I mean, look, man, you know, we all have one life to live, and it's a shame that he did, because he was a very budding star. And he was also a very good, from what I understand, he was a pretty good martial artist, whether he was trained for the movie or not. He was pretty good.
He died in 2003. He was 27.
03, I'm sorry.
What's up with this 27? So many actors die at 27, actors and actresses.
Do you know what the number 27 relates to?
It's either, is it Belushi?
No.
Oh.
In numerology.
Okay.
The number 27 deals with youth and some form of either blockage or obstacle, mainly drugs, anything that can hurt you and all that. So a lot of people, especially musicians, have died at 27. If you look at it very carefully, Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Duane Allman, Janis Joplin, this kid Jonathan Brandis. There's a lot of people that just die at 27. It's a very, very tough number. Robert Johnson, the late blues man. So in numerology, it's a very bad number.
I think Amy Winehouse was 27. John Belushi was 27. Chris Farley, I believe, was 27.
No, Chris Farley was like 30.
You sure?
33.
Was he?
Yeah, I think so.
Because
Belushi
a lot of them. No, because you know what? All right, that's how the comparison with Chris Farley.
It's called Club 27.
Yeah, you're right. He was 30-something. But Chris Farley died kind of like how Belushi died. But,
right, exactly.
But 27 still is a rough number. You're right.
Very, very much so.
That sucks.
I feel for people, you know, who take their own lives because, you know, you're one in the world. You're unique, you know?
You know, if I may do a little cross-promotion, a friend of mine, Josh, he does a podcast called Victims and Villains, which I've done some crossovers with the Retro Gamers, and recently myself and Frank did a takeover episode of Victims and Villains, where we talk about zombies. Actually, you're gonna like it. It's a good episode. But with Victims and Villains, his mission is suicide prevention, and he talks a lot about suicide prevention in every episode, including the one me and Frank had to do for the better half. He always talks about these stats of suicides, and I read the stats for the episode that we did. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it is just mind-blowing. The stats of suicide, how many people attempt it every year, how many people, unfortunately, are successful every year, and for every successful suicide, how many are attempted. It's just... I'm not trying to bring the... Look, this is my second week in a row. I'm bringing the show down on a downer. Last week was Bobby Heenan. This week now is suicide, but it's just a rough topic, and you're right. That 27 number, man, it's almost like, thank God we made it past 27.
You know, it's a scary thing. It's a very scary thing. I mean, I look at it like I've known people who have committed suicide, and
you have.
Yeah. In fact, I had a distant cousin of mine who actually killed himself back in 2014, and it's rough, you know. And to anybody who is thinking about this, just understand that life is precious, you know, and you have one life to live. And if there were many of you on this earth, if you were like a cat and there were like 8 of you, you know what I mean, 8 lives, 9 lives, whatever it may be, and you kill yourself, even though there's many of you, you know, if that really was true, you're still that one person, that one entity, and you know, you are your temple, you know. So please go out there and get some help and take care of yourselves. And hey, you know, if you guys want to email and you know, talk to us, let us know. Hey man, I mean, you know, we're here for you. You know, we'll even give you a contact, and you can just vent it out and talk to us. And you know, you have any questions, let us know. Oh yes, there is an email that we're gonna post up here at the end of the show where you guys can get in contact with us and ask questions, please. All right? Are you? So yeah, I mean, yeah, man. Sidekicks, December 17th, 1992.
Wow. Okay.
Wow, huh?
Yeah, man. I can't believe that was 20. I can't believe that movie. Chuck Norris.
Hey, Joe Piscopo, which I've met, by the way.
Oh, my God, Joe Piscopo.
He was the bad guy. He was like the crease in that movie.
Forgot about him in that movie, let alone forgot about him, period. Oh, man. Can't believe he was on the Saturday Night Live. That's hysterical. Do you know that Chuck Norris does not do push-ups, but he pushes the earth away from him?
Yes. When he goes to sleep, I'm sorry, when the boogeyman goes to sleep, he actually checks underneath his bed for Chuck Norris.
I had 2 posters with like Chuck Norris facts. Those were awesome.
I remember those. Whatever happened to them?
Just when I redid the apartment, I just got rid of them.
Oh, God damn it. Fucking Chuck Norris, dude.
No, he's Chuck Norris. That's bad. That's all we can say about that. What's the next movie on the list?
Okay. Oh, this is going to be one of your favorites. 3 Ninjas. Released the day after my birthday, August the 7th, 1992.
Wow. Okay, this is
3 Ninjas, dude.
The first one. Okay.
Yep, the first original one. With, I think his name is Victor Kam as the grandpa, or Kang or Kam. He was a pretty good old school actor. He was also in Big Trouble in Little China.
Wait, wasn't he also in Gremlins?
Yeah, that's him.
He was the one that sold who sold Gizmo. Okay, Gizmo. I loved him. He was awesome in Big Trouble in Little China. I love Big Trouble in Little China.
Rest in peace, sir.
Yes. Oh, well, he was old. So
he was very old. Yeah. I think he died in his 70s or 80s or something.
You know? But wow, 3 Ninjas. I mean, that led to 3 Ninjas Kickback. Of course, 3 Ninjas. Was it High Noon at Mega Mountain?
The only reason why I watched Mega Mountain was just to see, was it Lonnie Anderson?
Lonnie Anderson? Who do you think was the villain in High Noon at Mega Mountain?
It was her, right?
No, it was the Hulkster, brother.
No. There was There was one with a lady. I think
villain. Lonnie Anderson was also in that one.
Okay. If she was in it, the only reason why I watched that was just to see her in black leather.
Lonnie Anderson.
Hey, she was hot in that movie, man. I mean, like, obviously for Hulkster too, but you know, she was wearing black leather, and I thought that was pretty hot.
They were both in 3 Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Both Lonnie Anderson and Hulk Hogan.
Oh, good Christ.
And that was the fourth movie in the series. Wow.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. Huh.
God.
All right.
Made four movies out of this.
I always get Three Ninjas mixed up with Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas was good with Ernie Reyes Jr.
It was, and Leslie Nielsen.
That's right.
And that Game Gear that I always wanted that predicted the future.
Oh yeah. Interesting. Hey, you should talk about that in the Retro Gamers.
I think I will.
That would be an interesting one, right?
Oh yeah. Three Ninjas. There was a fan theory that Three Ninjas grew up to be the Power Rangers.
Oh wow, that would have been
because
a
it
nice
was three
crossover.
different colors. I think it was like green, red, and black, maybe.
Most
Or green,
racist
red, and
show
blue.
on earth.
Well, the first season of Power Rangers. I'll
Yeah.
agree with you on that one. I will totally agree with you on that one.
Black Ranger was an African American guy, right? Yellow Ranger was an Asian lady. Come on,
Pink Ranger was a girl. Yeah.
girl.
No, that's why. And you know what? I was still very upset at the Power Ranger movie because they changed up a lot of the ethnicities. They changed up a lot of the color mismatches and everything.
The Blue Ranger was blue because, well, shit, I would be blue too if I looked like a geek.
Oh, Billy? Come on, leave Billy alone.
Fuck him.
He supposedly got abused in the from the rest of the cast.
What was it? The Red Ranger, they just needed a guy playing Red. They couldn't think of anything for him.
It's all about Tommy Oliver.
He's an EMT now, you know.
Yes.
Something St. John, right?
I think it was like James St. John or John St. James or something like weird like that.
Yeah, he's an EMT out in Cali now or something
cool.
like that. And what was it? The Pink Ranger? Yeah, she was hot.
Amy Jo Johnson.
The Green Ranger was probably Smoke. Oh, I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking about that. But, you know, that's probably why he was the Green Ranger, but that's a different story.
Well, then he became the White Ranger.
Right, exactly.
So,
Yep.
Tommy Oliver. All right.
All right. Number 4. You ready for this one?
Let's do it. Hit me.
Under Siege. With Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal. Isn't he like
And fucking Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, my God. The thing I remember...
Released October 9th, by the way.
That's, you know what? I would have guessed that was more than 25 years old, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I remember watching Under Siege. So I would have been... Oh, see, this is why I didn't want to talk about the topic. I would have been 13 25 years ago.
Oh, God.
Or maybe 14. What year did that come out?
1992.
Oh, I was 12.
October 9th, 1992.
That's me trying to do the math in my head. So I was 12, and I remember Under Siege came on cable, so me and my dad started watching it, but then it was a scene when, what's-her-face? Who was the girl in that movie who came out of the cake dancing?
I forgot what her name was.
Oh, Erica something, Erica Lania or something, and she was rocking the thong, and here I am, 12 years old, sitting next to my dad. I'm like,
Can't go wrong with. Oh, and Gary Busey was in it too.
Gary Busey.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
What a nut.
To be honest with you, the movie sucked.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
Yeah.
I really didn't like it. I didn't think it was any of Seagal's. It shouldn't even be on Seagal's top 5 movies. I would have rather watched The Glimmer Man before I watch Under Siege.
I was going to say, is there a good Seagal movie?
Yes. No, there really is. There really is.
All right. Is he a cop now?
You talk. Okay, so no, he's an honorary sheriff in Jefferson Parish in Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
I think that's like the outskirts, or it's in Louisiana, in New Orleans or something. Okay. There are 3 movies that I love about Steven Seagal. The first one is Above the Law, and I like Above the Law because obviously it's his first. It was for the first time, he was almost in a way like the asshole hero of the movie because he plays Nico Toscani, who's this really brash, aggressive, pretty much asshole cop, right? Okay. And it's like he has this Italian tough guy image to him, but he's a good guy. You know, he's also very violent in nature, even though the irony of it is that Seagal actually teaches and is a master of the art of Aikido. Okay. Which is an art created by Morihei Yoshiba, who pretty much emphasizes peace, harmony, and inner balance and well-being, ironically. But yet he plays a character that's so angry, very, very violent. I mean, all these characters that he plays are very violent people.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah, he
who I
does.
mean,
Yeah.
you snap somebody's arm or leg and have or neck and have no remorse. I mean, you got problems. You know, but that's a different story. I think the second movie about Seagal that I like a lot was I liked Mark for Death.
Okay.
And it's not for the plot, it's not for the setting, it's not for the screenplay. It's just that a lot of the action in that movie is purely Aikido, like pure Aikido, which is very good. So if you want to learn how to fuck people up, it's it's a pretty good movie to watch. And I think the third one, I would have to say, is as crazy as it sounds, Alpha Justice, just because it was about Brooklyn.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
But that's like the least of the three.
Okay.
But yeah, Under Siege, man. Last one. Wow. Even I was very surprised at this. The movie Rapid Fire.
Why don't I remember Rapid Fire?
It was with Brandon Lee, Powers Booth.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Katie Hodge was
Yes. It took me a moment. Okay. Wow.
in it.
25.
This movie was released on August 21st of 1992, and this movie has a lot of personal significance. Simply because there's a few reasons. Number one, I'm a very, very big Brandon Lee fan. I think that his passing has really affected me in a lot of ways. It really I watch this movie once a year, and the reason why this movie is very significant, well, number one, he passed on. Number two, I'm a fan. Number three is just the idea that when it came out, it really, really ignited something in me to really want to pursue the martial arts. I felt something in me. It was like that movie was almost like a calling in a lot of ways.
Okay.
And it really sparked me more than anything else because he added a lot of international flavor, so to say, in his action sequences that he adapted into American film, because he did do 2 or 3 movies in Hong Kong or in Asia before he came to the United States. Yeah. So it means a lot, and it's my favorite movie from Brandon Lee. I mean, I know a lot of people love The Crow, and The Crow was good, like our friend Anthony, Ripple loves The Crow. But I think Rapid Fire, if you're a martial arts fan, an action movie fan, has to be his best work. He was actually in talks to do a Rapid Fire 2 before he passed away.
Really?
And yeah, every year I celebrate his passing, I celebrate his birthday. So I watch this movie once a year. And I remember of these 5 movies also have one thing in common. I saw all 5 in the movie theater.
Oh, wow.
And
you were busy.
And actually I saw, yeah, very busy. And I also saw Rapid Fire 4 times in that movie.
Oh, wow.
Theater. Yep. Same movie theater, too. The guy
one on Sheepshead Bay? I mean, the one on, not Sheepshead Bay.
There was a movie theater. It was the United Artists. It was in Bensonhurst.
Oh, that one. Okay. I was thinking of the one off the Bell Parkway.
Yeah, it was on 18th Avenue and I think 64th Street,
Gotcha.
Right? And I went to, and I think by the second or third time, the guy just looked at me like, "You're here again for this movie?" Because, I saw it, I think, like twice in a week, and then I saw it the week after and the week after. And the guy's like, you're fucking here again? So and I was like, hey, it was awesome, man.
Cool.
So, yeah, there's your top 5, friends.
All right. Wow, 25 years old. We're all moving on, folks. We're all moving on.
I mean, in 1992, I was only 16. So, that movie had a profound effect on me, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, yes. It is that time. Do you feel it, Larry?
I feel the goosebumps. The hair is standing on the edge of my arms. The goosebumps are just protruding from the skin. I'm feeling like something huge, something monumental is about to happen.
I feel it, folks. And not like that. Let's stay. Hey, don't think dirty here. This is, try to keep it clean here. You know what I mean?
Show. Well, PG-13.
We try to be a PG-13
Well, at this
show.
point, it's R after all these F-bombs.
Absolutely. Okay, so Last week I did a segment called Shootout,
Yep.
and you know something? I have a new victim.
Uh-oh.
All right. So I am going to say that this is hopefully this person does not get any publicity because, quite frankly, I'm not going to mention him. I'm not going to mention his establishment or his association because I don't think this person deserves the airtime. That's why he's my next victim here. So Wednesday afternoon, midweek, last week,
Okay.
right? I am looking for a place where I can assist and teach, or I can teach my own program of Wing Chun. Now, anyone and everyone who knows anything about martial arts schools knows for a fact that you should be disciplined. You should have discipline. You teach discipline. You're a leader. You set, I guess, an example for your students. You
Okay,
know.
I can see that.
Now, depending on what art you take, you refer to your teacher as either master, sifu in Chinese martial arts, shifu, depending on what language in Chinese. That's shifu is Mandarin and sifu is Cantonese.
Hmm.
Guru, sensei, something, right?
Yeah.
Well, I walked into this one martial arts school in New Jersey. When I walked in there, I'm looking at the class. I had responded to an ad that was put out in a local newspaper that stated that they want a martial art instructor. So I went in there, just wanted to check it out. And I looked around and everything was great. There was a very pretty spacious, organized school. And then out of nowhere, I see one class is coming out. And these kids have to be, I would say the students were about 12 to about 17 years old.
Okay.
Now, this is an age group where I guess as a Sifu, you should realize that these children are very vulnerable, very susceptible to pretty much, it's pretty much the barrier or the borderline of whether they go astray or whether they pretty much learn the right way.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of temptation out there, folks, and it's very hard to keep young people in line, but you have to know how to do it. And when you're in the dojo or the kun or whatever you want to call your establishment, they have to show respect. Now, I'm speaking to the assistant instructor, and I'm speaking to the instructor after he teaches the class. And it's nice to see somebody sets an example, but everything changed with one statement. These students are coming out. They're changed from the locker room. They come out in their regular clothes. And the teacher is in his, uniform and all that. And they bow to him, which is nice. And by the way, it was a taekwondo school.
Okay.
And okay, which I mean is very, very respectful. You bow to the dojo, you bow to your teacher before you walk out. And then something happens. These kids all say to the teacher, "Have a good night, bro."
Wow. Now from my point of view, and this is pretty much how the show's going to run. You have your point and then my point of view, because my point of view, I've never taken any sort of martial arts whatsoever. I understand the idea behind it. I understand the respect behind it. And to some, I would imagine, they probably thinking, oh, okay, maybe they're just good friends, with someone. Kind of like us growing up. You used to call my parents by their first name. Trust me, you didn't start out doing that, but my parents said, listen, it's okay. You can call us by our first name. You're friends with our son. You're friends with us. So even as kids, my parents allowed that. So some people probably think, oh, that's not a problem. Maybe they just, they're comfortable with their instructor and, just saying, hey, have a good night, bro. But like you're about to, I'm sure, to get into, it's that respect level that really should carry at all times with this type of discipline, which is the whole purpose of it. Discipline.
Bro, are you kidding me? It's like, the fuck? What the? I heard that and I said, and I looked at the teacher and I said, I'm sorry, what did your students just call you? And he goes, oh, yeah, after classes, we're not in the dojo, and I let them get away with it. And I said, what? Why?
Let
Why do
them
you
get
let them
away
get
with it.
right? Like, why do you let them get away with it? And I mean, listen, I grew up old school. In my household, you obviously have respect. When my martial art schools that I've attended, you have respect. If my teacher, who's passed on now, if he was to hear this, if my Sifu Yip was to hear this, and I called him bro, he'd have probably killed me.
Ninja
I
kick you
mean,
right square in the face.
look, you want to say that's as about as disrespectful as basically. You might as well just say to him, "Hey, have a good night, asshole."
Wow.
Because I mean, really, no, it is
I believe you.
considered in martial art channels. This is not Jersey Shore. This is not. You're not in a club. You're not in a bar. You're not in any establishment where that person is of that relationship with you, where you can call them bro. This is your instructor. This discipline goes back thousands upon thousands of years ago, and maybe even further than that. I mean, do you refer to? I mean, if you lived in Roman times, do you refer to the emperor as bro?
You'd
If
have your
you
head cut off.
exactly, you know what I mean. You just don't do that. Yeah,
I was going to say, let me, if I may pose a question, and again, this is
absolutely.
just my ignorance, I guess, or not ignorance, just unknowing. Say
That's
you
cool.
like if you ran into your instructor on the street, just happened to coincidence, or you ran into him in a store or something like that. Like, would it be okay to be because you're not in that atmosphere? Is that like a different ball game, or would that carry over? That respect carry over even into public life?
Oh man, okay, that's a great question. It depends.
Okay.
If you look upon it as, let's say, if I was operating a school, okay, I think with adults, it's a little bit different. You
Okay.
know, I would rather have my students still refer to me as adults to say Sifu Anthony, or
Mm-hmm.
that would be still be cool because that's how you know me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's how you got to know me. This is how you get to know me 2 hours a week, or maybe several hours a week, depending on how many classes you take. But specifically for children, they need, and children, teenagers, they're at a very vulnerable age where a lot of the young people don't have direction. Uh, they don't establish respect. And this is why there's such a discourse or a disrespect, to a lot of elderly people today, or to a lot of people that are older than them. And martial arts is supposed to provide discipline.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to provide a path of showing them respect. If I was running a school and I had teenagers or I had children, I would expect them to say, at least if they don't do, a hand gesture, which is the hand over fist, and a slight bow, at least say to me, "Hi, Sifu, how are you?"
Mm-hmm.
Or "Hi, Sifu, Sifu Anthony, how are you? How's everything?" Something like that. A lot of teachers, a lot of the old teachers required you to literally, no matter where you are, stand at attention and bow,
Okay.
and then the teacher bows back. Now, it also runs to a borderline. A lot of teachers also don't want others, especially strangers, to know that they do martial arts.
Okay.
So they do a slight bow, kind of just like a few inches down,
Yeah.
just bow, and then they bow. So it's not stating the obvious, because, you shouldn't. I don't really tell people, like, if I don't know somebody, right? Like, I do martial arts. You've known that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
If I just met somebody I don't know, I'm not going to mention that.
No, of course.
I'm definitely not going to mention it because that's personal to me. But a lot of the young masters today, or a lot of young teachers today, they don't enforce that, and I think that that's horrible. Like this jackass.
The only way I can compare it is I'm going to open up just a little bit here. In college, for a little while. Now, granted, this is nothing on a professional level because the person I was talking to was a grad student earning her master's in this field. But I did some therapy in college. like laying down on a couch therapy. You know what I mean? Like, like opening my thoughts and my heart because some stuff was happening in college. Nothing major, but still I needed to get it out. And I remember us talking to her, and the first session, she was like, I just want to let you know, in public, if we run into each other, because it was a college campus, if we run into each other, I'm not going to say hi. I'm not going to acknowledge you. And this is because of that, doctor-patient confidentiality, especially in a situation like therapy like that. What do you call it? A psychologist or a psychiatrist, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I worked in the college bookstore. So I would see her often, especially during the beginning of the semester. And she did just that. She would come in and she would just walk past me. Not being rude, not being whatever, just that's what it was. They needed to show no connection. And which I was fine with. I understood that part. And I guess it's kind of like what you're saying where, you don't want to show that overabundant connection of student-teacher. But here it's something just a little thing, like a little nod or a little, kind of like a... sometimes you see someone just very quickly go like put their hands together.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So I can understand that. And that's crazy, especially with kids, with teenagers who, like you said, are vulnerable. They're at that age where they're being imprinted with life, with society, and to maintain that level of respect needs to be 100% 24/7.
Well, because and just to also reiterate one other thing, the school system doesn't teach discipline. The school system doesn't teach you respect. It doesn't. There's a lot of things that martial arts teaches that's supposed to teach that pretty much that you don't get even in the home. Mm-hmm. We grew up under a time period where, respect was taught at the home. It starts at that foundation. That's why when I first met, your mom and dad, we pretty much had said, I refer to them as Mr. and Mrs. Mormon.
Of course.
Now, as I've known him for so long, I can't lie to you. I joke around and I say to your dad that that's my dad, and it's a long inside joke. Till this day, when I saw your mom, I was very uncomfortable still calling her by her first name. Even though she wants me to, I get it. It's just that, what it is, I grew up in a very disciplined household.
Understandable.
And I'm old school in that manner. Obviously, if I was 25 years old, maybe I may look at it in a different light. Not to disrespect anybody who's 25. It's just I feel that when you put a uniform on and you say that you are a martial artist, and you're teaching a generation of young people respect, discipline, and the like, you're to lead it by example. If I had students, also let's say, and I don't want to sound hypocritical because right now, I'm swearing, in these last two podcasts. It's how I feel. How can I change that? Right? I can try to filter it, but then again, it's just how I speak. It's how I talk. It's adding to the context of the feeling of it. But I'm not going to say, well, hey, you guys go do that too. But what I'm saying is that this is me. So you can't change, right? So we're talking, and we're talking to the masses. If I did operate a school, and let's say there are students who are listening to this, who are my students who are listening to this, or their parents, or whatever, I would actually probably say to you and your team behind the scenes, hey man, I don't think I should be cursing now because, I don't want to project a negative example, But right now I'm not operating a school. But a goal of mine in the next 5 to 10 years, before I turn 50 years old, is I want to run and operate a successful school.
Okay.
I feel like it's my way of giving back to the community, and it's a positive thing to do. So, what can I say? It's like different times we live in, right?
That is true. That is very true.
Yeah. So, with that said, what happens when people claim that they're martial artists and have possibly dozens upon dozens of the young, impressionable minds that they have to lead and teach, and yet they persuade them the wrong way? Huh? What happens?
I love this part.
Huh? You know what happens? Sifu Christopher. I'm not going to say your last name, you prick, because I'm not going to give you the airtime or your school. I don't want anybody to even go back into your school. And by the way, your secretary was an absolute bitch. And I just want to say that too. But that's a different story. And I don't care who she's related to. And if you have a problem with that, find me. You know where the hell to find me. I'm going to give you an email where you can find me. And if you have a problem, we'll go a couple rounds. You know what happens? Huh? You know what happens, Sensei Christopher? You've just been chewed out. Fuck you.
Oh, there's the icing on the cake. The cherry on top.
Fucking making like a disgraceful image for all teachers out there and a negative example that these kids can call you bro, you piece of garbage.
All right.
Oh,
well,
I need a beer now.
That, ladies and
gentlemen, I don't even drink alcohol.
No, you don't. No, you don't. That, ladies and gentlemen, was this week's Chewed Out.
Yes. That's right. That's right.
He's red now. Holy cow.
Whew. I think I need to turn the air conditioning on in this house right now. So, now that we've gotten, I just need a couple of seconds just to calm my ass down, All right. So, are you ready for this? Next, moving on forward, subject-wise, I said to you at the very beginning of the hour, I mentioned a name, the Count, Michael Bisping. Can he possibly take a tall glass of shut the fuck up? Because he stated over the weekend, something glorious that I have to mention, is that he may actually retire after fighting George St. Pierre.
Really?
In Madison Square Garden. And I hope you do, asshole, because you know something? I don't like you. I don't like the fact that you're full of mouth. And all these UFC fighters, right? All these MMA guys who basically talk about how, pro wrestling sucks. Pro wrestling's not real. Blah, blah, blah. Yet you look at guys like Bisping, Conor McGregor, Chael Sonnen, and all these people who know how to talk, King Mo, Quentin Rampage Jackson, all this supposedly colorful personality they all have, it all came from wrestling. They should give their respect to people like Ric Flair. They should give people the respect, to respect to people who know how to talk to the people and who know how to cut promos, because that's where they got it from. We're all inspired by something, right? This guy is just full of mouth, and I really hope that George St. Pierre knocks him the fuck out or submits him and doesn't let go for a little bit, because he needs a lesson in humility. I don't understand how he's a top 5. Do you know that he's in the top 10 rankings in the UFC before he won that title from Luke Rockhold, and he didn't do shit? He barely fought. How the hell are you in the top 10?
That's weird.
Right? I hope you retire, you jackass, because you know something? It's like he also said this to George St. Pierre. He said that George St. Pierre should take performance enhancers to win the fight because he's going to need it to fight him.
Actually, I kind of like that line.
I think it's kind of funny, but I don't like Bisping, and I mean, I don't like fighters who are full of mouth. I mean, they can't back it up. I mean, this guy wins a title by a lucky shot, and all of a sudden he thinks he rules the world. Yet he got schooled by a few people, and I mean, what does he have to really say for himself? I mean, yeah, you're the champ, right? You talk a big game. You think that you know how to promote yourself, and yet you really don't know shit. Look, I'm not a mixed martial art fighter, but I could say this to you, is that as a fan of MMA, as a fan of the sport, this guy needs a lesson in humility. He also called, by the way, he said that George St. Pierre is not a martial artist. He's an athlete.
Really?
Yeah.
What's St. Pierre's discipline?
Well, St. Pierre originally is a Kyokushin karate fighter out of like Masuyama's discipline. Okay. You know the story about Masuyama, right?
Sure.
Okay. So Masuyama is a Japanese karate man who passed on now, but his claim to fame is creating the art of Kyokushin, and he also supposedly struck a bull with one punch and killed it.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, all right. And Kyokushin fighters are badass too. Mm-hmm. So GSP has done that. He does Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He does Muay Thai striking with my old coach Phil Nurse.
Okay.
Arjan Phil Nurse, who runs a school called the Watt in New York City. So I actually met GSP. GSP is a great guy, very humble, very down to earth. He also, he's an athlete.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a veteran, and so is Bisping. And I hope that GSP just knocks him on his ass. I just don't like him. I don't like Bisping. You know?
I do now.
My God. I mean, we will, by the way.
When's the fight?
I think it's in December.
Oh, okay.
UFC 217 or something like that in the Garden.
Nice.
Forget it. I tried to get tickets for us to go. You know how much they want just for nosebleed?
The cheap seats I heard were like $500.
About $500 to $700.
Good Lord! You know
and
what?
I'm like, you're out of your mind.
I mean, I've spent that much on tickets for wrestling, but at least I was close to ringside.
Right. Exactly. I mean, nosebleed $500 to $700 is a lot of money.
No,
I'd rather just sit at a Buffalo Wild Wings and eat and hang out with you and possibly do a live cast or something like that. You know, I get more out of that, man.
We've done it. We've done it before on the original episodes of The More of the Same.
That's right. That's right. Oh, by the way, so we go from MMA to the yoga world. Now,
yogurt. I love yogurt.
Well, yogurt's good. We may actually go grab some of that right afterwards. You know.
Actually, for some reason, I'm going to get Chinese food after this.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, Chinese food is good. Actually, I might do the same thing. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I have that like 6-7 days a week.
I got news for you. I'm going to say, and this is no disrespect, but some of the greatest food I've ever eaten in my life was the first time I went to your house and had homemade Chinese food for your birthday, and that was absolutely amazing.
My mom.
Oh, fantastic! And that's when I was introduced to chicken and cashew.
You never had that before?
Never had it before until that day. And from that day on, it was pretty much the only thing I would have. Oh, God, it was tremendous.
Yeah, I mean, my mom and dad, they know how to cook, man.
Absolutely.
And, you know something? It's like I'm trying my absolute best to preserve, really trying my best to absolutely preserve my mom's recipes and all that. Actually, told my mom to teach me how to make rice porridge.
Okay.
It's kanji. It's called, in Cantonese, it's called juk. Mm-hmm. And we've been trying to have her do that because juk is really good for when you have a cold or a flu or you're not feeling well.
Okay.
And it's a very good remedy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's rice porridge, it's steamed or boiled chicken, and a lot of ginger, garlic, scallions, white pepper.
Yum.
And it's just excellent. Excellent,
I'm
really good,
hungry.
Really good for you, you know. So yeah, nice shout out to mom and dad, you know. Oh, but what I was talking about was yoga.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, specifically DDP yoga.
Throw out the diamond sign.
Diamond sign, bang! Right. Now it's interesting. I actually met DDP back in 2013, and even I was quite skeptical about it. But there is a YouTube video of a disabled war veteran from Desert Storm named Arthur Borman.
I've seen that.
And if you folks want motivation and you want to see how this guy changes himself, it is the most awe-inspiring thing. I was sitting in a coffee house when I was watching that video, and at the end of it, man, tears were running down my eyes because it was just so inspirational that somebody can go from absolutely nothing and bring themselves back to life.
Yep.
I mean, when you're at the very bottom, all you could see is there's no other way or no other direction but to look up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I can personally relate to this because back in 2000 end of 2015, you know, my doctor said to me that, you know, you need to change your ways and you need to lose weight or else a lot of bad things are going to happen to you. And I didn't know how to do it, so I was at the depths of my lowest. I wasn't happy with myself for a lot of reasons. I felt like nothing was going my way. And, you know, my teacher changed everything, you know, my coach. And okay, now let's go back to this. My coach is my coach in the gym, but he's also a good friend of mine.
Okay, that's good.
And when we're in that gym, there's a third person we work out with now, which is his coworker, and I call him Coach. I don't refer to him as anything else but that because I want to show him that I have respect for him, and I want to show him that I care about him. So
Okay.
so definitely, and yeah, he changed my life, and I found that as you get older, I find that your flexibility slowly goes if you don't maintain it. Now, I've always been pretty flexible. I think I got those genes from my mom because my dad is not flexible at all. He can't even lift his leg up beyond his chest or his waist. So, but my mom is in her 70s and she can still do a split.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I saw that, and when I went on the cruise, and my family was just very impressed. And my mom doesn't even look like she's 70 something, and I in turn, interestingly enough, I can do a split, and I'm a big guy, And I actually took a picture a couple weeks ago of me doing it with two chairs, kind of like the way Van Damme did it.
Oh, really?
So I didn't do it the way that Van Damme did it. I did it sideways.
Okay.
Doing a split that way. And I found that as I've been doing DDP yoga, it's an interesting program because it's not a gimmick. It really is something that will improve you internally, which is great. Yep. You're holding up the DDP yoga discs 1 and 2. And I'll tell you, man, it is a great thing. There's so many people that have been influenced by this program, from wrestlers to MMA fighters to athletes, the military. He actually taught the military this. Wow. He has I think Diamond Dallas Page actually has a performance center out in Smyrna, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And it's in the outskirts of Atlanta. And apparently he is teaching. And man, I want to go out there. I want to go check out this performance center. And I actually started to change the way I eat. I started working out, and I feel like it's a lifestyle now. I've changed. I made, a lot of progress. And I think I'm down 60 pounds now.
Good for you.
After a year and a half.
Yeah, man.
And I was at the depths of my lowest, at least how I felt, and I got myself out of it. So for anybody who doesn't think it's possible, this guy is telling you right now that it is doable. It is possible. Mm-hmm. Never, ever underestimate the power you give to somebody when you believe in them. But never underestimate the power that you give yourself when you believe in you.
Yeah, man.
And I think that's something that DDP said. And I think that he's probably most proud of Jake the Snake Roberts and Razor Ramon, Scott Hall. And there's something that Jake said that will stick with me for the rest of my life. And it's simply this: don't ever let your history dictate your destiny.
Okay.
It's a very truthful thing, man. Man. He's seen this and he's got himself out of it. So what does that tell you? Always believe, man. Always believe. And I'm gonna make a commitment to myself that for the next 3-4 months, I'm gonna do a social experiment on myself, and I am going to do the advanced level of DDP yoga, which means I'm gonna do it 5 times a week.
Okay.
Being even more strict. It's now, as we're recording this, the 24th of September. I'm gonna do this till the end of the year. That's about 3 months and a week or so, and I want to eat a strict, clean diet, even better than I am now. And I want to do this, and I want to see how much of a life change I'm going to have, because I've been doing it sporadically once a week, twice a week. I want to see what it would be like if I did it 5 days a week. So progress update is at hand, my friends.
Okay, good stuff.
And you got the program too, as I believe. So you should jump on it too, man, because you're working out and you're eating right too. So hey, like I said, guys, we take care of ourselves here.
I'm trying. Between the two of us, I'm not that good with it, but I'm trying.
I'll give you guys a little tip. The hardest part in any life change is actually the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If you could discipline yourself to do this for 2 whole weeks, your body is very adaptive. And at first, it's saying, what the hell are you doing to me? Stop. But if you keep doing something like this, it's good for you. 2 weeks, you'll start changing your body. After was it like 30 days or some mess like that, it starts becoming a habit, starts becoming a lifestyle. So, hey man, health is wealth, health is for life. A lot of people don't have health right now and wish they had it. So you guys try to take care of yourselves well. Eat right, work out, take care of yourself, man. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right. So we are now at the pinnacle, the very, very closer, well, second to last topic that we have for the day is, I had said in the beginning of the program, I am going to try to change you, my man, into doing something life-changing, something you've never done. I'm going to use wrestling as an incentive, okay?
Okay.
And this is going to be something that I think you should know, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
You're ready for the climax, my friends, of this podcast? And again, let's not think dirty, folks.
Oh, okay.
So, Larry, let me ask you a question, my friend.
Okay, hit me.
You ever traveled internationally?
No.
Could I give you an incentive to do it?
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, I just found out through my sources, my informants, and through my creative team that apparently, are you ready for this?
Okay.
Chris Jericho is going to have a rock and wrestling Rage at the Sea.
Oh, his cruise.
On a cruise ship.
No way.
Right?
I've heard rumors about this. I didn't know it was true.
Yeah, it is a true thing. He's going to have a cruise ship. It's a 5-day cruise that goes from Miami to the Bahamas.
Oh,
right?
man.
To Nassau. I think it's Nassau or Freeport in the Bahamas. And it's basically a 5-day cruise that features. It's basically sponsored by Ring of Honor.
What?
And it's sponsored by Ring of Honor, and it's known as the Sea of Honor. Basically, they're going to do a 12-man tournament. In the cruise ship, there's going to be a wrestling show.
On a boat?
On a boat. 12-person tournament, and it's hosted by Jim Ross.
Really? No wonder why Ross is going to have Jericho on his podcast.
He also, by the way, states one other thing. There will be multiple stars that will be there from the wrestling world, and he's also offering a Fozzy concert. All right, a free Fozzy concert, and there's a few other bands at night that are going to be performing after the shows and after the wrestling show and stuff like that. So the tournament, I think, is supposed to be a 2 or 3 dayer or something like that.
Okay.
Now, here are the people that are supposed to be appearing. You ready for this? And this is good. I want to go on this right now. Okay. And so the following wrestling stars are supposed to appear for this cruise, who are supposed to be in it. DDP.
Really?
Yes. Mick Foley.
What?
Ricky Steamboat. Rey Mysterio. Raven. Conan. Disco Inferno. That's almost all. That's all the filthy animals right there. Don Callis. I don't even know who the hell that is.
He was the Jackal with the Truth Commission.
Oh, right.
And Cyrus the Virus in ECW.
Fuck him. All right. Now I may have to hold you back for this one, but apparently Hurricane Helms is going to be there.
Oh, I hope he goes overboard.
I can help you with that. And Lance Storm.
Oh wow! What?
Jericho will also be doing a personal signing autographs for everybody. You may have to get a package for it. I'm not really sure. But everybody that I just mentioned is supposed to be doing autographs and signings and stuff like that. So think about it. It's a 5 days that you have to go to the Bahamas. Then for you, just don't leave the ship.
Well, no. Here's my bigger problem. I'm freaked out with cruises. I refuse to go on a cruise. So it's not necessarily going international, because every time you always see these weird news stories of these cruises crashing into something, or like breaking down at sea, or like all the toilets not working. I can't handle being out in the ocean like that.
I've been on 7 or 8 of them now, and I'm alive.
That's good. Well, I may go on my first one and it'll sink. So I can't. That's like my biggest fear. Worse than flying.
It's in October of next year.
It's not the Bahamas thing. It's the cruise thing.
I think you should really check it out, man. I mean, for what it's worth, you're talking about a wrestling show. There's tons of food. There's gambling. There's a casino. There's live entertainment. You're going to go to a Fozzy concert. I mean, you're really not even going to really feel like you're in any type of danger because trust me, man, when you really, really experience it for yourself, really the chances of that are literally minimal. I mean, I think the last time that there was some type of a crash in Italy or something like that,
Yeah.
I think the navigator, the captain, was either under the influence or did something really stupid.
That doesn't help me.
And yeah, I know, but hey, man. But I mean, for wrestling's sake, and to meet all these legends, and to go to see a 12-man ROH tournament on a cruise ship, how many people can actually say that? Now, there is one other kicker. Just an interior room alone for double occupancy, meaning me and you, they are looking for anywhere between the lowest price that I've seen was $1,000, including taxes and fees and blah blah blah, to $1,500 for 5 days. And I believe it leaves out of Miami.
Miami. I'll think about it.
I think you should go because I would love to go. So if you want to come with me, I'm not going to go by myself, man. I'm not going to be charged double. Because if I go by myself, you know that the thing with cruises is that the prices are quoted for double occupancy. So if you go by yourself, you're going to have to pay for two people.
True. I'll think about it.
What I don't understand about this cruise, though, is that there are no women.
Well, that's not good.
Why are there no divas? Why are there no women announced to go onto this cruise? I mean, like, I would love to see Velvet Sky in person in a bikini, or something like that. Well, then again, yeah, I mean,
don't tell Bully Ray.
I know.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you on a future episode. I'll think about it,
dude. So, fans, I am going to ask of you to please do me a favor. Send us in comments. Just influence this man to come on to this cruise with me. It's for wrestling's sake. It's for health's sake. It's even though we're going to be stuffing our faces at the buffet. It's for a lot of reasons, and I think it should be pretty awesome, man. I mean, look, the amount of money that you invest into podcasting and wrestling and doing all these things, hey, man, you should definitely jump on it if you can. I want to definitely book it at some point next year or maybe end of the year or something. So give it some time. So fans, go out there, choose Commandos, the Legion of Larry. Go out there, get on the email, and email this man and say yes, 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 yes. And influence this guy to get on his first cruise. He's going to have a great time because look, man, you work really hard and you're in charge of a lot and you do a lot. And I really think that you deserve the time off, man. You know what I mean?
This is true. Usually that's reserved for WrestleMania, but you're right. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll get back to you. I'll think about it.
Yeah, but
I'll get back to you.
I mean, look, no disrespect to WrestleMania, but when you're at WrestleMania, you're at high tension. You're high pressured because it's like fast paced, it's exciting. At least this is something that you can go chill out and relax while at the same time watching a good show. Mm-hmm. So you get the best of both worlds. You know what I mean? So it's like a vacation amongst hobby that you like to do.
You're right. I'll think about it. But I have a little bit of news for you, my friend.
That's right.
Well, actually, this is news. I don't think you know where this is coming from. I would like to officially announce that the Yin and the Yang is now available on iTunes.
Whoa! What a dream come true, my friend. What a dream come true. I can't believe it.
So do a search on iTunes or even now your whatever app you may use for podcasting, and you can just do a search for the Yin and the Yang. And you'll find us. The first episode is now live.
Oh, beautiful. Please disseminate the information to all the huddled masses yearning to breathe free and let them know where they can find our humble podcast in here and the More of the Same network, of course.
Of course. Thank you.
But what do you guys – and, please let us know what's going on. And by the way, shout out to Frank Mayer. Man, I wish I was going to be there on Saturday, but oh, by the way, Larry here may not live to see Sunday due to someone that he will be potentially interviewing. I'm almost even afraid to say the guy's name, but you're going to have to find out who he's going to talk to if you buy a ticket to go see him in New Jersey for the PWS show, folks.
There you go.
Listen, it's going to be awesome. I wish I was going to be there, but I'm telling you guys now, you find it, Pro Wrestling Syndicate. That's going to be the place to be. You can meet the man himself. Who knows? If you impress Larry over here, and he may even give you an 8x10. Hell, if you impress him that well, he'll take a photo of you with you, and then he'll also, if you really, really impress him, you may even get to be a loyal member of the More of the Same network, having your own podcast one day. You never know, right?
$10 for a photo op.
$10 for, hey, look, $10, folks. You don't need to eat. Just give the man $10. He'll sign it for you, take a picture, whatever you need to do. He signs chess, by the way. He'll do that too. Ladies, I know you're out there. I know you're fans. So before we sign off for the day, for the week, I should say, now that you good folks have been educated out there, what's going on in the More of the Same network? Give me an idea. Shout it out. Let's go.
Just the regular podcast dropping. We got the Retro Gamers every Tuesday.
The mothership.
Yes, it is the A show. I'll be honest with you, but this one's slowly creeping up the ladder there.
That's right.
We got every other Wednesday drops The Better Half. Next episode will be October 4th. On that episode, the Pro Slam World podcast drops on Fridays. Been a little sporadic lately, but it drops when it does. It drops on Fridays. And, of course, The Better Half is taking over Victims and Villains October 6th. So if you do a search for Victims and Villains, check out all their episodes, but check out October 6th episode. That's when myself and Frank take over Victims and Villains for October, and we talk zombies. So that's what's happening with the More of the Same network.
Okay. What do you guys talk about the Retro Gamers this week? And The Better Half?
Well, with the
synopsis.
Well, The Better Half. Actually, I'm going to be honest with you. That we record this Wednesday, so we'll see how that works. And with the Retro Gamers, which dropped a couple. If you're listening to this the day this show drops, which is Thursdays, that one dropped on this past Tuesday. We talked about some vertical side-scrolling shoot 'em ups, that genre of gaming, like Gradius, R-Type games like that. And we talked about me and Anthony's game plan for picking up a Super NES Classic. And, of course, as usual, Anthony gets his little dig in on the Virtual Boy. So,
oh, boy. Folks, if you have a Virtual Boy for sale, let us know.
Let me know.
And, yes. I don't care what walk of life you're from. I don't care what you believe in. Hey, we're all one. And that's the way it should be, man. We're living through some tough times right now. Again, I don't want to talk religion and politics, but, under the skies, under the heaven, we are but one family. It just so happens that everybody's different. And that's how I look at it. I don't look upon it anything but that. So equality, justice, it's got to prevail, man. That's the way the world works. And, guys, until next time, take care of yourselves. Be well. Stay well. God bless you. And thank you so much, guys. We'll catch you next week. Same back time, same bat channel on Thursday. Peace.